Greetings, angelic team of 144000, rising up, waking up, ascending into the light. The light is rising. Feel the raising energies of consciousness as we spring forth through the ascension energies. After the quantum leap yesterday, the leap day, each moment is shifting, ascending. We're feeling this, experiencing this in many, many different ways. Today, many upgrades and downloads. This afternoon, as I traveled into the void in between worlds, the space in between time, as I was under the copper pyramid, many codes were coming in, many activations and downloads, many symbols, signs, sacred geometry, and some of the energy coming in is to transmit to all of you in the coming days, activations and codes. Also the energy of letting you all know that every one of you that are listening to this message now are receiving these codes and downloads, regardless if you're conscious of them or not. Know that in dream time or in between worlds or at night when you travel into the unconscious, your awareness, your mind is bringing in these codes into your physical vessel, into your DNA, that is preparing you and activating you for the great awakening of the ascension process. So as you go into your meditation and you still the mind and body, turn off the internal dialogue, quiet the mind and get into the body, as you travel through the vortex into that still center and listen for that still small voice that is within. You will receive the messages from your highest self, from your cosmic conscious self, God self, to activate you and lift you up, lift your spirits, lift your energy higher and higher through the sacred portal, the sacred vortex that lifts you and ascends you to the holiest peak, the sacred temple in the heavens above, as you anchor into the earth below. And in this process, going within, into the silence, into the stillness, you remember that which cannot be forgotten. We let go and release all that does not serve and activate our fullest potential for assisting all humanity and all life in all realms, all timelines through this great awakening process of what is being called the event or the great shift into the golden age of light. And over the last 24 hours, many witness the strange patterns, the anomalies on the Schumann resonance chart, which looks like and appears to be code from our star families, the star nation, so you can meditate on that image. We had a 10 hertz frequency, which is part of the 1010 portal, which I'll post that image at the end of this video. We'll start today's transmission from Divine Sister of the Light, Patricia Cota-Robles from eraofpeace.org, releasing karmic codes from our DNA. And part of this releasing is the programming of the simulation of karma itself, which is part of the false matrix, which was part of the separation programming, and the simulation of good versus evil, which we're resolving all that now, ourself, our teams, our angelic teams, the ascended masters, and each one of us in the ground crew of the Earth Alliance is resolving for all of humanity to free from the seemingly reality of what was called karma or karmic codes. This is all being released and resolved into the light, into the great central sun. From Patricia, we have taken another monumental step in our ascension process that was victoriously accomplished through the unified efforts of heaven and earth. This is something that the I Am presence of each and every one of us has been striving to help us accomplish for eons of time. Please set aside any preconceived notions and focus the full power of your attention on what the company of heaven is revealing to us about this cosmic moment. The beings of light have revealed that this new decade will be a life-transforming new decade, Our Father, Mother God have assured us that during the next 10 years, humanity will change the course of history for Mother Earth and all her life. They have also told us that during this decade, humanity will develop our latent abilities and literally transfigure our earthly bodies and our outer world life experiences into the heart-based patterns of perfection associated with the new earth. They know that this information may temporarily be beyond the comprehension of our finite minds, but they are sure that as we progress step by step through this process, their words will become crystal clear. With the God-victorious success of the miraculous events that birthed this new decade, we have crossed the threshold into the full embrace of the new earth. This means that we have severed ties with the entire third and fourth dimensional fields of the old earth. The door to those dimensions have now been closed and permanently sealed. Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her have now fully entered the fifth dimensional crystalline fields of the new earth. As we tangibly experience this truth through the various activities of light that will take place month after month in 2020, we will prove to ourselves the adage, know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Releasing the karmic codes from our birth template, in 2019, we experienced the successful activation of our 12 fifth-dimensional crystalline solar strands of DNA and the 1212 catalyst codes, which were encoded within that fifth-dimensional DNA. Since those activations, the Company of Heaven has revealed that humanity's I Am Presence has been able to heal the wounds created by our fall from grace. These wounds have been referred to by the Company of Heaven as enslavement codes. Our fragmented and fear-based human ego has used these genetic enslavement codes to manipulate and control us since our fall into separation and duality millions of years ago. We are being told by the beings of light that now we have permanently crossed the threshold of the 13th gateway into the crystalline fields of the fifth-dimensional new earth, and the door to the fields of the old earth have been permanently sealed. The cords that have kept us attached to the old earth human template of our physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies have been severed. This means that our fallen human ego can no longer tamper with our earthly bodies, and our enslavement codes can no longer affect us adversely. This life-transforming event paved the way for the next step of the divine plan for this new decade. On February 9th, 2020, we held our free seminar in Palm Springs, California. Our first activity of light was unify our heart flames and join in consciousness with Lightworkers around the world to create a mighty transformer through which our Father, Mother God infused our planetary grid of transfiguring divine love with the light that will expand every person's light work 1,000-fold every single day. The next wave of our God Parents' light will infuse our planetary grid of transfiguring divine love during our free seminar in Houston, Texas, March 15, 2020. If you have the heart call to add to the light of the world in this critically important way on behalf of humanity and Mother Earth, and you would like to physically attend our free seminar, you can register at eraofpeace.com and go to free seminars. During the second phase of our seminar in Palm Springs, the Company of Heaven revealed that with the healing of the wounds from humanity's enslavement codes, humanity en masse has reached a critical frequency of vibration that created an unstoppable shift of consciousness. This shift is not occurring outside of us. This is a very cellular-based transfiguration that is occurring within the core of purity in every electron of our earthly bodies. The Company of Heaven said this shift created a sacred space for every person's I Am Present to, and long last, release the karmic birth template that was encoded with our DNA by our fragmented and fear-based human ego after our fall from grace. To understand the magnitude of what this means for each and every one of us, the Company of Heaven revealed that the karmic codes within the DNA of this grossly mutated birth template contain the distorted patterns of aging, disease, mental and emotional dysfunction, and even death as we have experienced it for eons of time. It was never the divine intent of our Father, Mother God for the daughters and sons of God to experience these painful challenges in our earthly bodies. On February 9th, through the mighty transformer of our unified heart flames, the company of heaven guided us through an activity of light that initiated the permanent release of humanity's karmic birth template and the transfiguration of the karmic codes of aging, disease, mental and emotional dysfunction, and even death as we know it. Simultaneously, the I Am presence of every man, woman, and child encoded the immaculate concept of the crystalline perfection of humanity's new birth template for our fifth-dimensional crystalline solar light bodies into our fifth-dimensional DNA. Now, for the first time since our fall from grace, our I Am presence and our body elemental will be able to proceed with the divine alchemy taking place within our earthly bodies, unimpeded by these obsolete karmic codes and our grossly mutated birth template. Dear one, this is a lot to absorb. Take some time during your meditations and ask your I Am presence what all of this means for you personally. Listen carefully, and your I Am presence will respond intuitively through your heart flame. This is a major step forward in our ascension process and the transfiguration of our physical reality. God bless you. Patricia Cota-Robles from eraofpeace.org. And this is part of our birthright, angelic beings of light to tap into, to connect, to reconnect that I Am presence within you now through the love, through the bliss, through the joy in your heart center as you transmit it out into the field, out into the collective, and feel into that energy. Smile into the bliss as you rise up, fully conscious. Make the choice, make the effort. Put your heart, soul, and energy into your mission, into your activations, and your ascension, fully conscious. When we are reaching through the alpha point into the omega point, bridging two worlds, as we transcend fully conscious into that cosmic consciousness, the eternal life, the eternal light that is the kingdom of heaven within you. And from the archangelic calendar, Gaia has remained earth-based, and she is truly serious about the physicality of our lives changing in a very drastic and dramatic way. The call for change within our heart originates from our innate connection to earth. We must always keep in mind that all rebellions and revolutions come from the direct, instinctual messages from Mother Nature, and in her heart she longs for humanity's freedom more than anyone. Lemuria is moving and is about to overshoot her ideal positioning. This is very necessary, and what will also be necessary is that in a few days we will push her back into her ideal positioning once the time is right. This has unexpectedly opened the 888 gateway, which will bring a giant influx of the direct energy of infinitely expanding Creator Source. I must preface that the rest with this by saying that infinitely expanding Creator Source is not the same thing as the universe. Even though the universe is part of infinitely expanding Creator Source, IECS is the ocean in which all dimensions, universes, times, scenarios, unlimited possibilities, and much more exist and originate from. On the contrary, the universe as we have defined it is the physical landscape in which we live in. There are unlimited universes, but only one infinitely expanding Creator Source. They both expand so fast that comprehension by the human mind is not possible, and are constantly confused for each other. This is exactly why there remain a noun and a verb in our attempt to describe the divine to our modern minds. That being said, horns have been sounded to mark the arrival of the fully Christed energies. Crudely put, the Christed energies come straight from infinitely expanding Creator Source with no middleman whatsoever. This is literally the touch from the hand that made all things. This will spark a plethora of Yeshua sightings. The reason for this is because this is how the minds of those who have not fully digested will interpret the incoming energies that we are all exuding. This is in part what is causing the spike in the Schumann, but not in its entirety. Another cause of the Schumann bump is the fact that Archangel Azrael chased down an impostor of his back into a pocket of dark bandits in the 4th dimension and eradicated the hive. This has caused a major timeline and time perceptive jump that is the result of a major cosmic storm that we are currently involved in. This just complicates the already complex time instability issue that is a main reason for these excessive spikes. The spikes in the Schumann will continue, and you can expect even more cosmic dancing to manifest as these energies will only get stronger. The 18 legions have treaties and pacts with many alliances across the cosmos. When we added the Rebel Legion, much of humanity became protected by such pacts. This is one of the main reasons why you will see a drastic shift in the global justice system. The assignments for today. The assignments are valid any day. Please make sure you are using today's current weaponry. If you're seeing this 30 or so hours after this was posted, please use your intuition. And the full posts are listed in the description below these videos. There'll be a link to the transcriptions from all of these transmissions. Under each video in the description, there'll be a link to primedisclosure.com where we archive every transmission. We have over 1,000 there now. So one assignment, Gaia asked, we hold sacred space for the pure hearts living in fear and doubt. This means that under no circumstances are you to let fear or doubt enter your mind. This pushes critical mass to a higher breaking point, or we can say tipping point. 2. Serzi asks that we open our crown chakras to her downloads and upgrades simply by envisioning a lotus flower opening 3 feet above your head. We are definitely breaking ground on organized darkness, pedophilia, division, as many of them are being brought to justice. There are still many victims yet to be found. We are on an all-hands-on-deck search and rescue. Please find as many victims as you can and envision an infinity symbol upon their third eye. This is the same trackers that we used at the Super Bowl, which heralded such great results. The drastic difference is that this will be a global search and it will not be targeted to a specific area. This alerts all the right people in the area and gets them to safety as soon as possible. And this is from the archangeliccalendar.wordpress.com. And from Elizabeth Peru, today on March 1st, give your personality the day off. Have you ever considered that soul, via the heart center, knows exactly how to run your life so that what you say is what you mean and what you do is genuine and real? I speak about how to do this and more in the tip-off. I poured all my love for our growth and joy in today's energy forecasts. March is the month where soul leads. And this is from ElizabethPeru.com. You can join her daily energy tip-off. There will be a link on her website for daily tip-offs. And today, from Hair in the Moon Astrology, Sunday, March 1st, 2020. When the world is in turmoil, it's time to go fugitive, to slow down and receive rather than impose, to feel rather than think. That way we'll be ready when it's time to break out of our limiting belief systems, because breaking out of our limited understandings is what it will take. From Carolyn North. A heads up and an important reminder to frame each week's forecast as part of a much bigger picture. 2020 is bringing about sudden and complete change. A moment in our collective time that is permanently closing the door on a familiar past. This shift is taking us all on to a new timeline, so radically different that we will be struggling to grasp what's happening to our world and to develop the skills to live in our new reality. As the waves from the epochal Saturn-Pluto conjunction hit downstream, through the ravages of climates changing and the panic over an unknown virus, we are getting a real-time test of how fragile the world is, its delicate systems, its economy, its communities, just as our health systems have been systematically stripped to the bone and our support systems dismantled. This week's astrology is a perfect example of the phrase, everything is overformed, meaning that there is never just one simple cause and effect, but multiple influences leading to an event or outcome. The karmic south node of fate is conjunct Centaur Phallus in Capricorn, and both are activating Chiron in Aries. Pholus strapline is small cause, big effect, like the genie escaping from the bottle. Chiron sets off a crisis to expose the wound for healing. The lesson is learnt through direct experience. Venus is very active in aligning first in Aries with Eris, the galactic center, Haumea, and Saturn before entering Taurus on March 6th to conjunct Uranus and align with the nodes of fate. If you unpack this, it means highly emotional issues connecting to global disruption, Eris, epochal events, Haumea, and karma, Saturn, leading to shocks and collective unpredictability, Uranus, all involving downloads of new information, GC. The seismic storm window opens on Thursday, March 5th, ahead of the super full moon next Tuesday, March 9th. At the same time, Mercury kicks up a trickster storm as he slows to turn direct at the supermoon. 24 hours earlier, the Sun makes his annual conjunction with shapeshifter Neptune right on the supermoon degrees of 19 degrees Pisces. With Neptune's symbol of pandemics being triggered by a super full moon and aligned with Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, Mars, expect an increase in COVID-19 virus numbers worldwide, along with fear-mongering, disinformation, and widespread rumors. The virus is more likely to impact our systems than you personally, so make preparations now while Mercury is retrograde. When Saturn enters Aquarius in 3 weeks, restricted air travel looks likely, along with an acceleration of the spread at the equinox and into early April at the first Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. Stay on your witness perch. Keep your perspective and remember that fear is as contagious as the virus itself. Make your sanctuary, which you've been creating for the last 18 months during the Cancer-Capricorn eclipses, your base camp. And this is from here in the moon astrology.co.uk. So with this information coming in, just remember to stay out of fear. There is nothing to fear, not even fear itself. You are a powerful, infinite, multi-dimensional being. So no worries. Live in the power of your infinite potential. And from Spirit, the Great Spirit, we got this, beloved beings of light. Today from the Tzolk'in Times, Kin 232, Yellow Spectral Human. Spectral is the name for the number 11, and its key words are dissolve, release, and liberate. Let it all go is the motto for spectral days. Releasing will make you feel lighter. Today is Yellow Human, which represents free will, wisdom, and influence. We are all naturally intuitive and can channel wisdom at will. However, most people have not tuned in to their own psychic abilities, and it lies dormant. On Yellow Human days, we are reminded to listen to that inner voice. It's good practice. Find a quiet spot. Be mindful today and see if you can open a dialogue with yourself. And from Christina Papagiorgio, Yellow Spectral Human, Kin 232, 1 March 2020, Liberating Divine Will. Welcome to March, the holy month of divinity, the holy triad denoting happiness, joy, communication, and expanded divinity. This 3 code beautifully synchronizes with the last 3 days of the White Wing Wave spell, where we are expanding our pure vessel to hold and integrate more of our divine self, which is absolutely perfectly aligned with Kin 232, where we are releasing more of our divine wisdom to liberate divine will, stepping up into our fully Christed golden light bodies. 1-3-2020 equal 1-3-4 equal 4-4, the 44 equal 8. 4-4, angelic gateway for building a new foundation. 1, new beginnings, leader, original. 4, angelic form, earth, foundation. 8, infinity, abundance, flow. 3, Holy Trinity, joy, creativity, communication. Kin 232 equals 7, spiritual magic. Notably, the 3 is in the middle of the 22 doorway, inviting us to step into our divinity. We now have completion of our new foundation of peace, With February's 2 code completed, as we are now focused on infusing more divine light into our structure. Today is day 11/12, due to Leap Day, in the wave spell of Icke, the white wind who holds the power of spirit and communication, where we are becoming hollow vessels for spirit to communicate and operate through our being. Today we are liberating divine will by using our free will to release more divine wisdom through aligning with the Spirit's guide, embodying more of our divine selves as we near completion of this cycle. Tone of creation, Spectral Tone 11, operates in the emotional realm, and its actions are that of dissolving, releasing, and liberating. Spectral actions are to dissolve emotional blocks and debris in order to liberate you and release you from the past. 11 is the process of disintegration, stripping away the layers down to your core essence. Unity, the great illuminator, is transforming patterns and structures, freeing you from things that no longer serve your emerging wholeness. With the spectral tone of 11, cherished ideals, beliefs, and images of all kinds are being brought up for you to re-examine, illuminate, and transform. Examine what appears dissonant in your life, then let it go. Bless your past, your pain and suffering, and release it forever. Going through your resistances and boundaries prepares a space for greater wisdom to flow unimpeded. As your facade crumbles and your walls come tumbling down, the true illumination of self bursts through. These are very powerful energies at work to create final closure, dissolving all impediments to you finally claiming and aligning with your divine self, your God self. Tone 11 symbolizes a gateway in polarity, inviting you to step through into a new and more divine reality filled with abundant opportunities. Connect with your higher wisdom, giving you the intelligence to carve a new path of liberation. Yellow Human is also a portal to abundance, happiness, and prosperity, which beautifully aligns with today's 8 code, bringing forth a wondrous flow of bountiful gifts from Spirit to endlessly overfill your magical golden chalice of plenty. God is knocking very loudly at your front door today. Can you hear him? Will you welcome him into your home, your life, your mind, your body? Your challenge today is to surrender to the will of Spirit, surrender the struggle, and allow Spirit to guide you through a beautiful embrace of self-remembrance. Today's question is, what do I need to dissolve in order to release more wisdom and liberate my divine mind? Divine blessings for your divine souls, total liberation and exaltation today. In Lakek Alakin, Christina, White Magnetic World Bridger, Kin 66. Kin 232, Yellow Spectral Human. The mantra, the code for today is, I dissolve in order to influence. Releasing wisdom, I seal the process of free will. With a spectral tone of liberation, I am guided by the power of my own power doubled. And as the Buddha said, while sitting under the Bodhi tree, fully awakening to his true nature, he pointed 2 fingers to the sky, to the heavens, and 2 fingers to the earth, and said, in the heavens and upon the earth, I alone am the world-honored one. I honor the world, and the world honors me. We are one. There is no separation. I am honored by the world, and I am honored to be here in this moment of eternity with all of you as a connected field of unity consciousness. And you can feel into that energy, and it is that I am presence that the great master once said, I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life. I am the light. We release all conflict, all fear, all worries, all separation, as we remember, reunite, reconnect, rebirth into the eternal divinity that is the I am, pure awareness of pure, clear light. of eternal bliss consciousness. And you can feel into that energy. Go within, still the mind, still the body, and breathe deep into the vessel. As you breathe in the sacred chi, the sacred energy, the holy breath, the sacred breath, and call in the divine light, the Holy Spirit, the Great Spirit, the great mystery, here now, for all eternity, awakening every aspect of yourself, every atom, every cell, every star, every strand of DNA, fully activated, fully awake, fully connected, and fully online. Aho! So sacred beings of light, leave in the comments below what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, your synchronicities, your visions, and transmit what is in your heart center now. 111 coming through. And let our star families and galactics and ascended masters know how you feel about them. If you'd like to connect with our higher dimensional families of light, you can also leave that in the comments. These are being seen from our star families, our bro stars and sis stars of the light, the ascended masters, our guides, our teams, and it also assists other light workers to feel that connection of divine community, of the rainbow tribes, fully rising, fully awakening. 1111 coming in fully now, the angelic realm. Feel your etheric angelic wings being activated to take flight, to fly into the light, angels of eternity, rising, 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 infinitely and eternally in divine harmony. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Click the subscribe button below and the little bell to get notifications on future uploads and updates. And do have a most beautiful and blessed day and life, every moment in time. A Zen master once said, inch time foot gem, meaning inch time, each moment in time. Foot gem is worth more than a priceless gem. Each moment of being awake and aware has more value than the most priceless gem. And feel into that and go forward into the light, knowing how special, important you are in this mission of the Great Awakening. I love you all. Namaste.